Hey y'all, my name is Adina Barnett Miller, but I'm known to my students as Mrs. B. I've been passionate about West Virginia history for as long as I can remember, but my mom would tell you it all started when I was 3 years old and she bought me a West Virginia counties puzzle at Gino's Pizza. I've taught history in Ripley, West Virginia for over 20 years now, and I'm an adjunct professor who teaches college West Virginia history to high school students. Please join me for West Virginia History with Mrs. B, a field trip across the Mountain State to walk in the footsteps of those who came before us. Hey y'all, we're now going to go on Lover's Lane Boardwalk, but this is one of the two swinging bridges to get across the Elk River here in Webster Springs. And I'm just going to be honest, I'm a little bit of a weenie, and I stepped out on this swinging bridge and it started to swing and it kind of freaked me out. So this is about as far out as I'm going to go personally, but we're going to show you Lover's Lane and we're going to show you the gorgeous Elk River, which runs through Webster Springs. And as you can see, it is really moving today. I'll get off of here so you can go first.
This is a gorgeous view here in the middle of the bridge. I can feel this thing swinging now. So I'm standing in the middle of it over top of the river, but my word, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Not as gorgeous as your wife standing here at the other end. Gosh, it's beautiful today. So we have with us a brochure all about Lover's Lane Boardwalk, which has been here in Webster Springs for almost 150 years. So we're going to tell you more as we go out on the boardwalk. So I want to give you a little history on Lover's Lane Boardwalk. So the original boardwalk here in Webster Springs was built in 1875, so right after the Civil War. And it stretched from town to the B.C. Conrad Hotel and the grist mill, which was a half a mile on the mountainside of the Elk River. So it provided a dry place to walk since the roadway was muddy year-round. And in the 1890s, the town and Captain Conrad rebuilt the walk and it became known as Lover's Lane, and it was in existence for about 40 years. So it was used as a shortcut to the courthouse for Mr. Captain Conrad, who was the county clerk here in Webster County for over 20 years. And so he had been a captain in the Confederate Army, and he used the home as his home was a hotel. So what ends up happening is this boardwalk is going to fall into disrepair. A native of Webster County, David Gillespie, is going to acquire all this property and he's going to rebuild this back. And so this was a project of love and labor that Mr. Gillespie put in to bring this back, bring this heritage and this history back to Webster Springs. So we're going to keep headed out and we'll show you more. So pretty. The river makes it worth coming out here for.
This is just really peaceful out here.
Yep.
Hearing the rush of the river.
Yep.
I bet this is really beautiful in October.
Yeah. Yeah, but the water's not going to be as high.
It's not going to be as high, but
no.
the view will be spectacular.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You know what this reminds me of?
What's it remind you of?
Audra State Park up in like Upshur, Barber County area. That's what this reminds me of. Being able to walk the boardwalk and look at the river. It's beautiful. All right, so we just made it to the other end of Lovers Lane Boardwalk. I'm kind of proud of us because I didn't chicken out. And there's some historic photos so you can see what used to be here, including the Conrad Hotel and Mr. Benjamin Conrad. He used to walk this boardwalk every day to the courthouse. Here's the grist mill that once stood here. It was destroyed in a flood. Here's some historic images of the boardwalk all the way back in the 1920s, including that famous curve. So, as it says, it was a dream come true to be able to open this, and you can see all the many people who donated to make this possible. So, and just the labor of love that went into building this. So if you're in Webster Springs, you definitely need to walk on Lovers Lane Boardwalk. It is so cool. And up here, you can see there's another bridge. Oh, okay, was not ready for that. I just sunk in. That was, whoa, I'm sinking in here too, Dave. Are you sinking in?
Nope.
Well, apparently your wife's sinking in, you're not sinking in. So one last thing we're gonna show you is the Lovers Bridge. This goes over to what was Mr. Conrad's land. Probably don't sink in anymore. So you can see Gristwell, Mill Race, Pirate Boat, Cold Arch Dock, and Second Swimming Boat are this way. This is such beautiful bottom water. And all the pretty ferns. Oh, there's the pirate boat. I see it. Over there.
And the bridge over there.
Yeah.
Be careful over here.
Yeah, because the water's standing. This has been the rainiest, wettest spring in West Virginia.
In a long time.
Yeah. Oh, now we're close. I mean, coming to Webster Springs is worth it just to see the river right here. Would you agree, Dave?
Absolutely.
I love this. I think this is a trip that everybody needs to make. So we'll show you some more views of the Elk River as we go on our walk back to the car. So if you're asking yourself, is it worth it to make the trip all the way to Webster Springs? This view makes it totally worth the trip. It is so magnificent right here. So we are getting ready to head that way. We are now up. We're no longer down near the river, as you can see. And so we're gonna start walking slowly back to the car. constantly replacing. And look at all that screw. Pivot through, to make sure that the
It's a shame the rhododendrons aren't in bloom.
well, they are where it's not shady. Okay, so if you come on Lover's Lane and you come on the post office side, I just want to give you a view. This is the steepest part. If you can make it from down there to here, you can do this. And I kind of had to like will myself to try it, but it was totally worth coming up this hill in spite of, you know, my leg and everything, to come and experience this. So we're gonna walk you back down if you want to do that, Dave. All right, so Dave's gonna take you down the walking path so you can see that.
And you can definitely tell, so I try to get the camera level here on the stick. It's kind of a sharp grade going down it. And as we get to this point by this lighthouse, birdhouse, whatever you want to call it, there's these little
Grippers.
Yeah, grippers here for folks coming down here. Obviously, this is not for wheelchairs, bikes, anything with wheels. They do not want those on this boardwalk. So something else to keep in mind if you are coming here. And my goodness, just I don't think we can emphasize just the elk today. With all the water that we've had in the rains this spring, and just to hear this river rush as it is today, I think we picked the right weekend to come to Webster Springs.
I do too, hands down.
So we're almost to the bottom here. And something we didn't show you on the way up, by the way.
Oh, I love this. There are all kinds of springs running off into the Elk right here on this trail. So this is probably the best one to get an idea, because you can see it going right into the river. But there are probably, what, 7 or 8 of these alongside of the boardwalk, Dave?
Absolutely, and as you said, it comes underneath the boardwalk here, down here, and makes its way into the Elk.
Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous. So now we're back to civilization.
Big step at the bottom,
Thank you.
which I nearly tripped over on the way in.
Yep. Listen, we're klutzy people. So if we can do the Lover's Lane, y'all can do Lover's Lane. So this is not to be missed. Thanks y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to West Virginia History with Mrs. B on both Facebook and YouTube.